Funk.
My
Is the
screen on
bubble
here.
gonna pop? You're live. What's
Imagine
happening
this is a
today?
cutscene.
Wednesday.
The Dream Show Live, Wednesday. We're gonna get off on some random topics because that's why we're late right now. We're doing that, and Isaac is stuck. He's blurring out. This is a completely original song that is not. I mean, it is. I made it with AI. I made like 40 songs with AI, but this is the first one I like. Sort of. I kind of like this one actually a lot. So, welcome. I don't think Isaac's here anymore, but I'm here. It's the Dream Show live Wednesday, 12:39 ish is when we started. So we have a few things talking about. The qualifiers season for the PGF is on. 3 people qualified so far. TV dinner, Parker Salisbury, Travis Haven. I think that's how you would say it, Haven. And then PGF vet. I think this would be maybe his 3rd season. But Sam Schwartzepfel won the Pasadena qualifier. He will
Sam was
be in the draft. Oh,
yeah.
we got 3. There's multiple Isaacs.
Is that what happened?
What the hell? Can you not see the other ones?
No.
Is this? Yeah, there's like a U in the middle. Oh, there he disappeared. The other guy
Okay.
left. What the
Magic.
hell? And what in Mexico? So I just was talking about the 3 qualifier winners so far. Sam Schwartzville just won the 3rd qualifier, and it's probably his 3rd or 4th season at least being involved in the PGF. So PGF vet.
I think 3rd.
Yeah. So that's cool. Somebody coming back, winning their way through a tournament, and then we got Dallas this weekend for the Kings. Correct.
The Kings are in Dallas. I haven't. Have you? I'm tapping out on all my internet speed. Have you looked at the bracket of how big that Dallas bracket is?
You know what? I can do stuff. I can figure that out.
Look at you. Producer Dream has made the show.
Yeah, hey, I got a roadcaster apparently.
It's just been in the back.
I just, I'm doing stuff. I'm trying.
Making moves.
I didn't know. I have to, not learn some stuff to learn other stuff.
I'm on that trek to Dallas myself. I'll be there Friday.
Dallas, Texas. When's the last time you were in Dallas?
A few months ago, actually. I was there. I had to actually think hard. I wasn't actually in Dallas. That's the annoying thing about Texas cities, though, is that they're like, oh, Dallas, but really it's 45 minutes north, and you're like, that's not the same city, guys.
All right, so but is that sharing the screen to you to put up there?
I have it here to put it up.
So there's the list of people that we have.
Run down that list of people. I'm gonna go get a cord real quick.
Alrighty. We have Michael Crow from TCB Fight Factory, Austin Orende for the Orende Bros. Oh, that sounds really familiar. Was he probably on the UFC show? I think maybe. Cody Welty, 10th Planet Beaumont, Cade Alexander from Moeller MMA, Jamal Parks from Moeller MMA, Hashir Azam from Standard Jiu Jitsu, Tanner Marsh from Orende Jiu Jitsu, Matt Mayfield, probably, I'm going to guess, from Double Five, Levi Thurman from Blackout Jiu Jitsu, and Noah McCulley from 10th Planet Grants Pass. I didn't. And then there's one unapproved person, Cameron Sheets from Hero Academy. So 10 people, not a huge list. There's some notable folks on there though. See his Isaac back there, flipping back over here. He is not back yet because why would he be? It's not like this is a live show that you'll be ready for or something. I didn't want the Dallas one, man. My bad. Sorry, I'm talking trash about Isaac and I'm not even clicking the right buttons.
Hard,
Why is this-
hard to talk trash and work at the same time, right?
what?
We're
Oh,
back.
yeah.
I heard the whole thing. That sounds like a stacked qualifier. What's the number? Did you count while
10.
you were reading? 10?
10 one
10?
unsettled, yeah. And then there's 9 for the Phenoms qualifier in Bethlehem.
Philly.
For Philadelphia Phenoms is in Bethlehem at the finishers. Um, HQ up there. Alex Bannon, Joshua Hogans, Matt Winder, Joseph Kovacs, Jaden Groner, Kyle Kemp, Zach Galayan, Galayini. Say
Yeah.
that from
I was going to let you run with it.
50-50. Galayini. I'd have to ask him.
Goliath.
David Stockstill,
Okay.
the friend of the show, big time, supporter. And then wow, another tough one here. All right, John, I'm gonna run with Beta Kuzik.
That's a doozy.
Beta Kuzik. Beta
I just
Kuzik.
got to where I could roll my R, so nah.
I'm gonna talk like Marcin. He probably knows.
Yeah, okay. That's
Somebody
right.
that could help
All
me.
right. These are 17 unconfirmed for Bethlehem. Or for
Jeez,
Philly.
Louise. I guess it's far enough away. Everybody's like not sure they want to commit to it, But there's definitely a
Well, if
big.
you're not sure and you have any means necessary, you should, would be my opinion. I see some, man,
Yeah, it'd be tough.
bro, that would be a wild day. That would be an entertaining wild day.
Mm. Yeah, this thing's going up. People are getting in, trying to get in, and really, if you're not somebody that's already been talked to, probably by Brandon, then you're probably only going to get in by a qualifier now.
Yeah.
And you may not even get in this season, but you might get noticed for this, for coming out this season, and then that'll carry over for you maybe into the next season. I don't know. Isaac, he's only here because he qualified or attempted to qualify 40 times
Yeah.
and didn't
I mean,
quit going.
what did Egghead deem that? The Rudy route, where that's you can come in, you can hit all the qualifiers, and a lot of it too is they're not taking chumps when they take a second like guy from a qualifier or from an event. A lot of times because the game works different is I think we talked about this on a show the other day where it's more about getting the score or getting the submission or getting the thing. And so the guys that come in and can be a wrench in the system have become really big players. And then eventually that guy that is the hard-nosed purple belt or, even higher belt that is just the like super hard to submit or like very hard round for everybody type of thing. That guy becomes a player on the team and then he starts to figure it out, We've been singing his praises. I mean, you got the Cam Herds that, his first season to his now is a totally different human being and competitor and monster to deal with.
And I want to say though, I think we say that a lot too, but I don't want that. I've thought about that on Sunday when we had Kevin and Travis on the Insiders. We talk about Cam a little bit that way. This man was a Division I athlete,
Yeah.
wrestler.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's just like,
Yeah.
like of course he knows how to get better and how to, you know what I mean? But so he didn't start off maybe so far behind the whatever, but he definitely was a very, very well-rounded high level grappler already, you know. And
Yeah,
oh, there he went again. Oh, he's back. I don't
that
know
was
what's
just the wrong
happening.
button. That was just the
Producer
wrong
trick,
button.
producer trick, just to get me to look dumb because I was having a good point. I was making a good
You had a
point,
great
and
point.
he's like, oh, I'll do that. I'll show you. Boom. Now to make it all on you. So there.
Once you figure out where all the buttons are, we're all doomed.
Yeah, y'all are in trouble for real. I'm already producing music over here. Um, yeah. If I can learn how to start a show, y'all are done for.
If you can learn how. You say that as if I haven't showed you. Um, but like on the point with Cam and whatnot is that like that goes back to my very first point is that like the just because guys aren't like coming in and like steamrolling through a qualifier and getting their hand raised at the very end, but they're in the season doesn't mean that they are chumps. Like they don't. It's funny to me because it's gotten the talent pool has certainly gotten deeper as the seasons have gone on. But every season, all the way back to season one, there's always the conversation. I mean, life is patterns, things are patterns, but there's always the conversation in the back of people looking around going, wait. So who's the dunkable? And you start seeing them like pointing their fingers and being like, couldn't be me. Because all of them at least think they're good, and most of them are pretty good. So, and it's been that way since the beginning.
Yeah, we kind of had a couple. I think that ended up being
Yeah, yeah,
more
yeah.
dunkable than others, for sure. And then there was a couple of those guys that were tougher, probably than advertised at that point as well.
Yeah,
Thinking like a Evan Stabler and a Mega Mike. Uh,
yeah.
those they I think they probably overperformed their previous metrics. And then there was a couple
They
guys that
stepped up on game day.
yeah, and then bless him, but like Judo Justin just he was outgunned in there for sure, and then full time outsized and pretty outgunned, but he got some wins I think that season too.
I think he got a couple, and and I mean the when he got the nickname full time, my man ran the most matches out of
As an
some of the
alternate.
as an alternate. He outmatched like did more matches than some of the main roster guys,
Mm-hmm. Which is
and that
crazy.
yeah, that it, the PGF is full of
The
surprises. That is
legend,
sure.
the legendary full time Josh Gibbs. Yeah, it's crazy. We're talking about that a little bit the other day, some too, but like the some pivotal like moments or whatever that happen in things and like how they could maybe get lost a little bit in time or whatever. But like that battle Rama, uh, when it happened and went off, like the energy and the in the room, but then also from the chat and the fans at home getting into it and getting so far behind it, and really pumping it up.
Right.
That was something that really was like, oh shit, this is like working.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, but it's like doing something because like it was like a thing. It was like a real thing, you know. And again, maybe if you weren't there, it doesn't make that much sense to you, you know. But that was a big one. What do you think? Maybe since you've been there, were some of those kinds of moments, or maybe one of those kind of moments that stands out to you?
I mean, I've said this a couple times on the like qualifiers and the way that those first couple seasons, like everybody does go back and talk about like we got quote unquote discovered in that like season 4, season 5 arc where we were in the church and we were doing it like up on a stage and we like had like that. And to us, like at the back side of that, like that was kind of almost like we had already made it. Like we felt pretty prepared. Like things were kind of like falling into grooves and falling into things. But really the part of PGF that I think you and I both kind of fell in love with, and I think that the original fans that are still with us like kind of fell in love with, was that it was legit like an open mat, but everybody agreed to take it to the level that those, like the people that wanted to argue on, oh, I don't know if that's effective, blah, 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 blah. You go, all right, we're going to run it all the way to that level. Now, most of us in here have and can fight and will throw hands if need be. Don't want to. Don't want to. Like, we got to take it out. I mean, there's multiple clips of the Elkins brothers being like, you want to take it to Chili's? Like, we could take it out of the parking lot, but it's not, that wasn't, everybody there had grown past that part. And the ones that hadn't grown past that part of themselves figured it out or left.
So what was your favorite moment though?
I'm getting to it.
He's like, well, philosophically, if you want to break down the way that it works from the beginning to the end, you got
so the battle Rama moment that you're talking about. So like there's a moment where like everybody's like, it's boiling down to the very last like moment, and like it was Full Time got the submission, I believe, is what cued the moment. I honestly I gotta go back because I've been digging through so much of that I'm not really sure exactly what cued the moment, but like everybody, regardless of team, whatever, was like, ah, and like stormed the thing and did the thing. We didn't have to be told to make that moment. We didn't have to be like, the whole thing that created that moment was from the fans, from the culture, from the everybody like exchanging it back and forth and doing all that. And for the first time, like everybody, we had accomplished that goal of like, the thing is that like everybody was getting a couple bucks in their pocket. Like everybody got like a couple $100, and like there was like this momentum of, we had like broken the seal of what we had always been trying to tap into in the competition stuff, and where it had gotten clogged up with the rules and the things. It was a truly cultural like moment in that season. And there's multiple ones that you can pick out in the PGF that it organically creates that. That was my season. Yeah. That's you're at the like very front of the clip. You'll see the clip. I'll clip this and like it'll be in a documentary somewhere. But like it's you're like running out onto the thing, and I think I run out behind you, and like everybody's like,
I overplayed that on purpose. Like, yeah, I sold it. 100%.
Oh, don't break the kayfabe for me. You're gonna make me cry.
No, I was excited. Like I was excited that it was happening, and I could tell everybody was really into it. And I was like, I'm gonna sell it more to
the
see.
Hype man.
Yeah, that's my job. At that moment, I didn't know what the hell I was doing. So I was just gonna do more of it. You know what I'm saying?
2 microphones.
We've been at 9. This is 10. We're going to 10-10. I don't know. Ran 10-10. I don't know what it means.
But these go to 11.
Yeah. And then I've gradually kind of brought it back to a level that's, I don't know, sustainable, because that was not sustainable.
No, for sure. That was probably one of the seasons I saw in an interview that Elijah was having the other day when he was in the Bad Guy days. It was even pre-Jabroni. And like that season for sure feels like, for the WWE fans out there, like for when it's everybody was trying to break each other off all day, and then afterwards we were up till 2 a.m. sitting around the fire talking, or sitting on, like we were around each other, and it was truly like a cultural exchange of ideas. And there were guys that were out of all kinds of different camps of, all the way from 10th Planet to, all the different guys were represented in those, like season 2, season 3, and season 4. As you got into season 4, you started seeing it just like disperse from just the like regional homies to where like, oh dang, like my season I was like bunked with Dane Leak. I didn't even know who Dane Leak was when I got there, and we like sat outside by the fire for like 4.5 hours and just talked like all about the jiu-jitsu, all about that stuff. He was my very first match the next morning. And I was like, oh,
good times.
You're the guy you're the guy that has only ever been put to sleep by, I think, Keith was maybe the only person that had ever submitted him at that point.
Oh, yeah, I can't remember. It was
It
something
was
like that.
somebody like that. Like, yeah, that I
Yeah.
was like, oh, like somebody like you came by and was like, oh, by the way, that's who that guy is. I was like, oh, good to know.
Noted. Did not look
So
at your
like,
cheat sheet, huh?
no, no.
Boy, that was a trip too. Great day. Let's don't get into it too much. But
Yeah, talk about going totally sideways different than you think and just hit him with a punch. And like you talk
how did
about
it
the
feel to be
favorite
the
moment.
dunkable? I guess you could talk about that, right? You looked around the room at the end of the season and
Yeah,
you were one of the few in that
it was
season.
one of those is that like what it created was a situation where I thought I was prepared and I thought I knew what I was getting into, but and we talk about this in like sport jiu-jitsu and sport anything that like it gets really specific fast. And if you're not in that specific realm and focused on it, there are people that are.
They're gonna
So
eat you alive.
good luck. Yeah. So I mean, and we've seen that repeatedly in the combat jiu-jitsu scene down here of like, the MMA guys come in and like, they do okay. But when I'm allowed to focus the thing, it's the same that if I said like, okay, cool, you've been training in MMA, wrestling, jiu-jitsu, like you've been training in that mindset your whole life. Cool, cool, cool. You're gonna go fight this pro boxer real quick and like see how it goes. And it's like, well, okay, now we're isolating off skill sets that guy's focused on just that skill set. And yeah, maybe I could stay alive, but he's definitely going to be better at it.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, I found myself hyping myself up in ways. I learned a lot about myself in it. And that's the thing that if it goes south on you, somebody, you might have reshared the clip from Sebastian from the season when he finally got on the mic and was like, hey, I did all of mine. Is that like definitely for one, the highlight reel of you, people are going to remember because
Mm-hmm.
that's the point in the highlight reel. There's two sides to that coin. But the people that really remember the stuff is, and to me, I've always kind of been this athlete, and this has kind of just been my journey. And I've learned when being too tough was a mistake, and then when gritting it out gives you the lesson that you were really needing from whatever it is that you're in. And so it's like finding that balance was kind of that season for me of understanding like because it's I came up in that mentality and we were talking about this before the show is that like a lot of the old school things was, oh, he has a heel hook on me, but I can take his back if he lets go. So I'm just going to let him break it and then I'm going to take his back and then I'm going to win. Or in a physical fight like that or whatever. And it's weighing out what the options are there. And I've had countless conversations with the athletes that have come into the PGF now. And it's like, oh, so it's probably a bad idea. Like it's crazy to the normal person that this has to be a conversation. But like I've had multiple conversations about this where guys go, man, maybe it's not a good idea to take a pop during the season. And you're like, yeah, that's a terrible idea.
It's the worst thing.
Imagine if a NFL running back was like, he's gonna hit me in the knee, but it's all right. They
That's why they get
spend
so
their
mad.
entire right. That's why they spend their entire career trying to
That's
protect
why
that
it's
and
illegal to
trying.
cut people's knees and different things because it's the risk versus the reward kind of thing. So
To which calls back to our conversation last week where we were talking about that's what should differentiate our sport though is that we have the respect of the tap and so we can keep this as honest as it can if we're both having the gentleman's agreement that like if I say yo you got it I know that you're not going to end my career and we can continue this game and maybe next time you don't get me and we move to the next one or whatever. But if we ever cross that line and just say I'm just going to cripple him, well then now it's not a sport. Now we're fighting. Now we should be and guess what, there's an avenue for that. MMA, because if we're talking about MMA, if we're talking about like that type stuff, and we're talking about, that's the other agreement. We've made the agreement that there are. I'm gonna try to
I want to box a
I'm trying.
non-boxer.
What?
I want to box somebody that doesn't know how to box. That sounds fun.
Okay.
That's why you're saying all that.
Is that, yeah, was that the back burner? Okay.
Yeah, they can box a little bit, right? I don't want somebody that doesn't know how to box at all, but not a boxer.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Yeah. They gotta be live at least a little bit.
I mean, that's a possibility.
Hmm.
I mean,
Never mind.
there are people that built entire
I got a guy that I
careers.
do lessons with, and we've kind of switched to boxing recently because he's gonna do a boxing like sparring thing with his friend. He's like, they're both 50 something, and so we just been doing boxing stuff, and it's like, oh yeah, I'd love to box a fucking 50-year-old executive of some sort. That'd be crazy.
All right,
But
Mike Tyson.
it's just been right. It's just been more fun, like kind of doing it lately, though, just because of that. We're not really banging each other
Yeah,
at
just
all.
doing the
It's
mitts
not
and
really,
doing
yeah,
like, yeah,
right.
shadow boxing.
The working out part, right? Getting that stuff, doing the movement, doing this.
The
Like, oh,
best you can get at something like that is slap boxing, like just like inside the gloves, like wear the big padded gloves, but we both guarantee
well,
that like my
his
hands are.
friend is boxing already and had been boxing already, and so he's like, well, fuck it, I'm gonna like dirty box him. So we've been working a lot of tie up and hit and stuff like that because his friend's smaller and shorter, and I was like, oh yeah, he's gonna get bashed around. He gets
You're
too
such
close.
a
Just how to grab the gloves so he can't get them back. Just
you're
punch
just
him.
such a terrible influence.
If the referee's not going to break it apart, right? You're just going to sit there and we're going to punch each other a little bit, or I'm going to like hold you and then I'm going to break and punch. That's
Yeah,
boxing.
no, I
That's
feel
why
you.
they
I feel
hold.
you.
That I'm not. You know what I'm saying? I'm not telling them it's like. But if they grab you and you try to break clean and nobody says anything, they can punch.
Yeah, yeah,
So if
yeah.
they're gonna have a referee or not, I don't know what the rules are. He don't even know the rules. He's just boxing. I was like, all right, we got to be ready for like war. You know, it's a fight.
Okay,
You know,
okay.
right? Or no? Am I wrong? Am I reading that
I
wrong?
I mean, I don't know. I do know that the one of the like hardest I ever got dropped. I was working with a guy that wanted to do like a bucket list MMA fight. And so I was doing exactly what you're talking about. Like we were just like light sparring so that he could learn how to have somebody in front of him. And his footwork he was trudging, like walking like Frankenstein. And I was like working on getting him lighter on his feet. So I was watching his feet and just, head movement or whatever. My man just threw a right hook just straight down the pipe and just clipped me on the chin. And I like hit my knee and like, those
Yeah.
hits that like
It don't take much.
you see your whole life, like everything just flashes. That happened, and I like came to, and I was like kind of in a double leg position, and I just like put him down on his back, held him there, and I'm sitting there like trying to get my wits about me, like did I just get hit or whatever? I'm just like on top of him, and just like he's thrashing and doing all this. The timer got off, and I was like, all right, I'm not doing that anymore. And it was
Yeah.
because it was one of those things that it was like I was at this gym and this was like, just MMA fighter trying to make a couple bucks, trying to get around, like make it around, whatever, teaching privates and doing that. So I'm like by myself in this gym or whatever. If dude had knocked me out, like he could have just left,
Yeah.
whatever. So I
Well,
mean,
not using that guy anymore for lessons.
yeah, yeah.
Just knocked him out. He must.
I don't know what to tell you, bro. Hey man,
No,
can you watch my feet and tell me my footwork? Here, click.
no.
What?
This guy had done some dancing back in the day. Did
Okay, so he's
some
got the footwork
basketball a
in
little
there.
bit
Okay.
back in the day, so he understands like boxing out and like how to use angles and footwork and things like that to cut off space and to take space and different stuff like that. So
Would you
and
guys rather roll without hands or without feet? Sorry, you hit me with ADD, and I don't usually entertain the peanut gallery, but that was an interesting question. I've done the thing with like tennis balls where you're rolling without hands. I would rather roll without hands than without feet, personally, because I use my feet as hands. I like how long you thought about it. I'm interested to know any of the answers that you can say on the live microphone.
I don't. I'm just it's an interesting one, right? It is. I think like how like no hand or no feet, like to where,
Do I have this
like to the
much? Do I
wrist,
have this
at the
much?
wrist or the ankle, or do I have that? Do I get the notch?
Bro,
Like what's his
at the
name had
at the
that
at
Nick
the
Newell or
at
whatever.
the wrist, yeah, like where it's just basically just a nut, like
Yeah,
that's a weapon.
if I yeah,
Yeah.
or I can still get my hook. Like I can still
Yeah,
oh,
you can still
I can
like you still
still
have
hook.
your wrist, but
Yeah.
if you're missing this, like all this is just loose bone. Like
Hmm.
if it's up to this, it's just a hook. I That's a nuanced question. I appreciated that from the comment section. The comment section's
I
not
think
usually that
I think
nuanced.
hands too, honestly, because a lot of my guards wouldn't work as well without
Why?
feet.
Oh yeah. That's what that yeah. But none of my guards that I think
But I could
about
still
that I
do a
need.
lot of stuff without my hands that would still get kills.
Mm, I'd have to only do the go-go. I don't know if I could do the go-go clinch anymore.
Oh, I don't have to do none of that. That's going way too far. You don't have any hands, dog. Why are you trying to jump right to a go-go clinch? Fucking great day. This man is jumping right to like he got no hands. He's talking about I don't know if I can go clinch or not.
It's a legitimate question.
You could, I'm sure.
Yeah,
We've
like
talked about it.
it would be a different variation, and it would be hard to get the connection. You're definitely not getting no
There's all
Hinduian or
kinds of
anything.
different things. Yeah, you can't. Yeah, there's all kinds of things that it would take away. But I think without feet, I can't use my. I don't know. I wouldn't know how to use my legs without my feet, but I know how
Without
to
the
use
hook
my
on the end.
arms without my hands. I think.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's a good question.
that was good.
That's a good question. Yeah, there you go, Garrett.
Yeah, everybody.
Yeah,
I think that's the universal answer because I think
I can't
also
run away
too.
on my hands either if I need to. So
Oof. Maybe this the answer. Maybe the answer should be you should learn to walk on your hands better. I was talking to
I think there's
somebody the
some
other
part of
day.
evolutionary history that's proven that to be incorrect to
I
some
will
degree.
I will say that Johnny Hernandez that I train with down here, he was teaching some guys some leg locks, and they asked him a question that they were like, "So, like, how did you get so good at this part of this leg lock?" And he starts the story with, "Well, you see, when I started learning how to walk on my hands, and Johnny's like, I want to say he's like 230, 240, and like used to do bodybuilding. Like he's a pretty stout dude, and he can legit just walk around the room on his hands. I've seen Matt Elkins. Like it's a lot of the wrestlers learn that skill of like being. I've seen in this new evolution of like guard passing, that camping, and like things that everybody's doing. The ability to walk on your hands comes really like really valuable when you're in that heavier weight class. Like imagine somebody your size just doing a handstand, and well, now their legs are way up there.
Yeah, imagine that. That's super hard to imagine. I can't. I can't imagine a guy my size doing stuff like that. That'd be crazy.
Yeah.
He would be really good, and I think he's awesome. And I'd watch his show. Probably, maybe.
Was that your pitch to watch this show?
Y'all want to see some float passing or some shit? What? That ain't new.
That is
That's why
interesting
people started
how
leg locking people.
it's all on repeat.
What you mean?
What's the most recent thing that you've seen come across your like feed that you've seen that you're like, that's the oldest thing ever?
I don't know. I don't really have a lot of stuff. I've curated my feed off of a lot of technique now.
Oh wow. How that you just
Quit. I quit interacting with anybody's technique videos.
okay.
If it's competition stuff, it'll still come up. But like I don't really watch anybody's technique videos anymore. Oh, not on social media stuff or whatever.
Yeah. So in the meta, then, like in the stuff that you see people playing, then what has been the more like recent one that's been old
Like
school but new school?
mm, the one that sticks out the most, I guess, is and it's not really like that. It's just and it's not old or whatever. It's just innovative, right? New you added some like stuff's been added to it or whatever. But like using K guard,
Yeah,
uh, or getting it before they've stood up while you're in like open guard or whatever with that scoop grip. Like we've people have used that idea for a long time, I think, but not to the sophistication maybe of this the way that it is now, the way that
yeah,
the way they'll force themselves into other positions that we definitely didn't, But I think using that underhook on the leg and then the hip frames where you would drop down and hit sweeps and different things like that off of it more than just using it as a entry for the legs and forcing them to go a way to get their leg to you in that situation wasn't really the
to create the
move.
stand. Yeah,
Yeah. But we like, there's a lot of that stuff that's like that, that it was just, we just did something else. Maybe it was because the rules, and I didn't know that it was because of the rules, but when the rules changed, then people started doing something else from there. So it's a little bit of stuff like that. But I think that would be the one, and it's not, and I saw the usefulness of it. I just think it's funny when people are trying to rename stuff or whatever. Because it's not, I mean, and it's innovated, right? So I guess that's the thing. It is different to a degree that
right.
it's there. It's art, man. At that point, and like
That's
you
when you get into the part that
you
it's art
you
and it's
did this
interpretation.
thing, and it's
Yeah,
like you're trying to express to me this thing you did, and like I can get it, and like you could like what they Bob Ross or whatever, he gets it there and go through the painting, and you can get all the colors and exactly all the same stuff, but yours is going to come out different, and even you're going to explain the technique maybe one day the same way, but it's not going to hit the same way because it's not the same. Like
yeah,
you do it different than the other person did, whether that's intentional or not. I've had that experience where in jujitsu I've done stuff and I've went back to show somebody like, hey, I've been working on that thing you showed me. Here, let me show you. And they're like, that's not even what I did,
that's not even close.
But but then this is cool though. This is interesting
Yeah,
what
it's
you're
a different
working on.
alternation that you worked around your
I had to
limitations
make it
and
work
your
because it was not correct quote to what they were doing. So then I was like,
right.
oh, well, I'll have
Yeah,
to make it this thing then. And so then that's what I was showing them was like, oh, this is what I did. And I was like, yeah, that's a different thing,
yeah, yeah.
but it wasn't to me. Right. But that's how it's just kind of like that, like people, it's, I don't know, man, this is one of the weird tangents. I look at a couple of my students in the morning. Usually now I start getting people to ask a question and then it's just like, oh my God, here we go.
You start hearing the so you
The pyramid, right? If you think about the pyramid, and
but then flip it over.
then yeah, and there's a square with a circle. There's a circle inside the square, right? And then in the circle you can spiral both directions.
But really, it's only two moves.
And then there's 2-on-1. It's a figure four, which is a figure eight, which is an infinity sign. And that's it. That's all you do. And you got them. Right? Or no?
100% correct.
What are the dominant positions? Where are you in space, like around them? Often. Close, right? A lot of
Yeah.
them.
Oh, sorry. Were you looking for an answer, or was that
I'm just
I
thinking
wasn't
we're doing a
fulfilling?
thought experiment. I'm just saying it's like
Okay. Okay.
it's kind of I don't know. Like I don't know enough to say that. That's what I'm saying. It's like it starts getting into that weird thing because there's a lot of stuff that's like that. Like we were doing some lockdown stuff this
Yeah.
week with some people who have it don't have any
Ever
experience with
seen
it
it?
at all.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And so trying to, I'm like, all right, cool. It's just like the truck is the backwards. And I'm like, well,
And they're like, "What's the
hold on,
truck?"
bring it back. It's like, okay, so how do so that's the hard part sometimes too, is like, how do I explain it to a new person versus how do I explain this to someone who's at my level?
Yeah,
And that somebody asked too, and I don't know, man. I'm gonna say it, but I don't know, man. I'm probably one of the best lockdown people in the world. There's some better. There's some better, right? But I bet I know and have done as much lockdown as almost anyone in recent times, for sure.
yeah.
In competition and thought it through a lot. There's so I don't know. There's other that's it. There's other people that are probably equally that way, but I feel like I have as much experience as anyone. I would say that's probably the best way to say it.
I would consider your lockdown and your interpretation of lockdown to be one of the best ones, as far as it's one that I've seen you teach to people that are of like in your weight class and like can play it, like, which is a weight class that not a lot of people play lockdown in because it's dangerous to get stuck there. And then all the way down to, like, I've seen you teach it to the small ladies and they've used aspects and things like that. And one of the things that I've always said to people coming along is when you are looking for like people that are seeking information ahead of you as you're trying to learn and whatnot, pay attention to the mountaintops that they go to. And it's like, well, when you're talking about like experience or exposure to things, and it's like, well, all right, look at the mountaintops you've been to and who you're around. And then what happens, what I mean when I say pay attention to the mountaintops, is you go hang out on the same mountaintop, you hear them say the same shit.
Hmm.
And
Yeah,
then
and that's
you're
and
like,
that's the
oh,
thing.
like you
It's
all are
I've
saying the
heard
same thing. Yeah.
Eddie say this, and then
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
Boogie or Geo say this, and then like a Jacob Lee or Gabe that maybe not as well known from some people that are just as good at some stuff that are saying this, and then Brandon, he has
Yeah.
this take on it or whatever, and it's
Yeah.
like all those different things come into whatever, like that stupid thing I showed with the shin sweep or whatever. Like I was an accident. I was like, I didn't mean to do it. It's just that's what my body did almost like automatically because that's just what I did. And
Yeah.
so I forced it into that accidentally because I was kind of retarded. Um, but it worked. And then later I saw it on a Nicky Ryan DVD thing, instructional, and I'd never seen it before.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
not like I didn't teach it to him. I didn't
Yeah.
talk to him about it or what. So like it's like so I didn't make that. Did I make that up? Did somebody else has obviously done that, so that's what I say is like everything is just an extension of something else, really. And jiu-jitsu
It's all
sucks.
connected and
It sucks because of that.
fractals.
Yeah, it's all too much and then not enough.
But
So
that's what makes it what it is.
it's infinite in that way. And we had some talks like that this morning too. It's a lot of talking kind of this morning. People were like just thinking about stuff, but it's like coming to jiu-jitsu and doing some of this stuff and training for some people is one thing, and then for some people it's a completely different thing. uh for example, a guy is a little older now. It's like, man, I heard you mention a little bit before about getting burned out or not really enjoying it as much sometimes. What do you do when it's kind of like that, or like the young guys are starting to like catch you and you can't really do anything about it and start getting injured if you try to go harder to keep up and do that kind of stuff. It's like, yeah, man, that's what this thing is. That's really what it is. All the young people don't understand that yet though, and they won't until they're not young people anymore.
Yeah. Which is kind of the whole lesson of the entire thing, right?
And then also for us, the older guys or whatever, it's like, yeah, there's guys that I could used to definitely just run through no problem. That now that's probably not the case at all. They probably beat me pretty badly if we went hard like that.
And hopefully they are, because hopefully they're doing the thing and following the right path
They
and like,
stay
yeah,
in, yeah, exactly. They're younger. They're
yeah,
they're going hard. They're in better shape.
that's the
I
point.
don't know. That's exactly that's the story. That's the cycle of life and everything that happens, right? And so you got to figure out how to pick and choose your wins and losses, and you know, don't try to match that kind of same stuff and play a different kind of game, which is maybe hard if all you ever did was be strong and stuff. But then you got to figure out how to mold that into the right stuff to make it work for you. You've got to adapt it to being the older guy. So that's why sometimes you got to slow down a little sooner and learn that game, to play it from the bat position a little bit more often, which I don't think people are comfortable playing off the back foot as much because
Yeah,
it doesn't feel good.
it sucks. There's certain points where you sit there after the like 500th time you concede the guard, concede the top, and like concede, and you try to work and get just waxed by some 22-year-old. You're like, hey, I let you in that. Like that hurt. Why'd you do that? Like,
Yeah, and
but
that's part of the thing too, though. Sorry to cut you, but it's like
yeah,
whatever. Like,
yeah,
okay,
it
like
doesn't matter.
whatever.
Yeah,
This kid or that guy or whoever they got me today or something and passed my guard. Oh my god. So, like, really though, and it doesn't matter. But sometimes you got to hear that it's okay, maybe, to just chill out. And a lot of people didn't know that. So there's a lot of people that come to jiu-jitsu need to be toughened up. A lot of people who come need to be chilled out
chilled out, and like I think the ones that need to be chilled out sometimes they learn it more than being told to chill out by feeling it.
by getting
By,
broke.
well, by getting broke, I think some of them, but like to me too, like it's like even you to some degree is that like rolling with you, we're by no means the same size, and so like when we roll, there is the like air of like you're definitely using technique in these. I mean, you pummeled me a couple times
Hey,
for
it's still
sure,
technique.
but it was still technical.
Shit.
I was walking the line. I
Is
wasn't
more
trying to cause you
technical
to
not
fall.
smashing you for
That's what
sure.
I'm trying to get at.
For sure. Is
Or
giving
seeing the people that roll with like Brandon or roll with the guys that are like not necessarily the most like
Oh, I'll whoop
egregious
Brandon though, by the
aggressive.
way. Just by the
I
way. I
okay,
will
we're
whoop Brandon.
I'll say it on the record. We're now at the level that I'm
You ain't no,
probably
you better
I'm
not.
gonna
I've seen too
match
many
you.
videos of you.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that. I'm saying what I'm saying is that like I'm not being as he's one of the ones that I talked to about this one time about learning how to roll soft and learning how to roll like and how to be able to roll well is that whole like not using more than the strength of like what it would take like a child. And like I've heard Carlos say that. I've heard like it's one of those when you hear him talk about it, it's like true jujitsu is learning that. So it's like I took that to heart and really did that, but then experienced what we were just talking about is that like getting smashed and that's part of learning that it doesn't matter. But I was saying I'm at the level with Brandon now that there's enough highlight videos out that like I'm not gonna ever passively roll with him ever again. Maybe till he's super old. When he gets off the
I
New
think he
Hope,
plays everybody with that and then he just stunts on them and then they're on his reels
it's like
forever.
did you uh do you remember the scene in Star Wars where Yoda just all of a sudden out of nowhere is like bouncing everywhere? Like that's what it feels like rolling Brandon sometimes. People go, "Oh man, he rolls so gentle." I was like, he makes it look gentle sometimes. That wasn't gentle at all.
Smooth. It's not really gentle.
Ooh, man. See, then you walk away with a good lesson there. Smooth is not necessarily gentle.
Yeah, yeah. That's the idea in that case. And if you're never in those bad spots, if you're never getting beat, quote, then you don't really know what you're doing when it gets to the hard place because
When somebody who's
you
just
never
as
had to
strong or
battle
just as
back.
good, yeah,
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 you got
yeah.
to know how to tactically battle back, and that's only done through repeated getting your butt kicked and figuring it out over and over and over again. Because the same thing you're saying, like I can tell you how to do it, but that doesn't get you to do it against someone like Egghead, for example, who was just promoted to his brown belt uh, over the last week, right? So, yeah,
I
see,
have a
That's a
I have a
big
bone to
brain
pick
thing to
with those
say.
two gentlemen, though.
That's a big brain thing to say. Nobody cares
Why
about
did they create
calculus,
calculus?
you nerd. See, now you're trying to give him props, and then talking about calculus.
Yeah, I have a
Maybe
bone to
that'll help
pick with
that.
those
Will that
two
help the
gentlemen
algorithm? Maybe that'll help the algorithm. We talk
to
about
talk
some.
about
We
calculus.
talking about calculus.
We're talking about a Dallas qualifier this weekend.
We talking about practice, and that's the least you can do at these qualifiers is come and get some practice
Get
at
some
trying
reps
to
in.
do the rule set, trying to be a PGF professional athlete, trying to get you one of those year long, not scholarships. I was going to say scholarships, contracts that's going to get you paid, not just for doing a weekend, not just for doing a couple weekends either, and not for doing, maybe a couple times a month. Uh, it's real and it's coming. The league, and we need players. We need real players, and it's definitely not going to be the old dogs, probably, because we too old and we don't like it. I don't like people changing stuff. I want it to be the way it was when I grew up, and I want to go there and look at it the same. And my son's got to do it the same way that I did it, or it's wrong. And so then we're not asking you to come. We want the other people to come. The people who want to come play the game, that don't mind necessarily having to lose to play the game. It doesn't mean that you got to be okay with losing. Nobody's got to be happy with losing,
But you
but
got to learn to lose.
you can be happy with your effort. You can be happy with the opportunity. You can be happy with where you are, and not be satisfied with like the result of an event, and still grow from it a lot more. Uh, so the
Well, I think
opportunities are coming
I think
crazy.
the meaning I think the meaning of losing is different in this is because like what we deem as losing is what we call like a draw here. Well, that's not necessarily losing because that guy didn't score either. Now, if you get scored on, you get broke off, you get like a step over, you're gonna be a make a highlight or be a highlight. Like
Mhm.
don't like
I
it's
got some. I've been both of
hey,
them.
I'm an NFT.
Yeah, I've been in both of them. Nobody knows what that is anymore. Um,
I'm just trying to help algorithms, man.
yeah, but like for real. So that's the thing. Is like in my season or whatever, I had several like highlight kind of moments, and then I had a few low light moments too, and then a couple matches that just sucked because I didn't get it yet. Also,
Yeah,
that would go
yeah.
differently in another iteration of it. So that's the good thing about the guys who are getting to play multiple seasons. You can see how it improves as they learn the game. Because we talked literally the day, like on the whatever one of the last couple of days, even I was like, dang man, I think I did this wrong. I think I did a couple of these matches wrong. I should have got the ones that I could have got and not whatever, and didn't know that though at the time. I felt like there was going to be something else happening. And then when you're there, it's kind of crazy. And going back into the lockdown stuff a little bit more. And yeah, AK, I know you're agreeing with me earlier there too. I was just fucking with you, messing with you. Sorry, cussing today. What's wrong with me? Sorry, everybody. I'm feeling a little spicy, I guess. Um, 10 people there at Dallas is correct, and the buzzer beater with Randy was wild. That was a good one. That was a big moment, the fun thing. Uh, but yeah, that only exists because you fight until the last second, and him too. He was trying to throw me on my head and win by knockout, which I didn't know was a thing yet, but it was possible that it could have happened in that way. But yeah, and then like the match with Kamoy, both of us admittedly after the fact we're like, damn, I should have did a lot more in that match because there's like a lot of respect for the other guy and didn't want to give him something that he could take too early because it's possible. It was like I don't want to give this guy the points right now on me or the chance to get him, and then there's tougher matches around him. So I was like, all right, I'll not so worried. And then
do you think you
afterwards,
do you think you were in your own head too much?
oh yeah, oh yeah, 100%, 100%. Way too much. Way. It's just trying to think too much. But that was the thing when nobody knew what we were doing, and they didn't even know what we were doing. They're just kind of making it up as we went. So we just kind of did whatever. Um, I'd never done that many matches in a row in a time frame either, and so that's another thing is like seeing like my game, it was like, okay, it's pretty kind of one dimensional when it gets going. Like I know a lot of stuff and I can, teach and go through a bunch of things, but when things hit the fan, there's only really like a few things that go, but they work now and they'll get good.
Yeah.
But when they don't work, then it's kind of hard to get
You got to
going.
have a deeper game. Yeah.
And then it gets to be a kind of a stinker sometimes because my defense is phenomenal. Is like really that like I got great defense and typically very hard to finish. And then that season, I had the messed up, situation with Elijah that happens just so fast. And then Hunter got me, and he was just good. Like those transitions, he
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
he made several good transitions against me that don't happen a lot of times. Like I'm able to get away from them. So he was just better, and that was the only two times I think I got caught during. Oh no, and Matt got me in the guillotine at the end of the season. That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
So that was
Yeah.
like the only ones I got caught in the regular season. So it was like that's a lot in a week though for me in competition. I've not been through
Yeah.
three times. Getting submitted in a week is a lot, and I know I
Yeah.
won like five or six. I think I can't remember exactly, but it didn't feel like it.
Yeah.
Like it didn't feel good because those other ones weighed a lot heavier uh in that way. So yeah, it was a definitely a mind game, which is what kind of got me into it more and wanted to keep coming back to it somehow and like figure it out. I think honestly, and that's like you went back the next season and I was gonna go do the commentary gig and then the rest kind of is history from there. But it was really coming at it from more of an analytical point of view than a funsies. Let's go rah rah it up kind of thing. And then that pivoted hard, and I was like, I don't really care about any of the analytics now. I don't care who's good or not. Everybody's got to be good now.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
for me, or I don't do a good job if I don't think that if I don't want to feel that way
Yeah.
as I'm a now. I don't that's just I feel like that would be bad. I haven't had that or situation yet where it's like I'm going to do a bad announcement for this guy.
Well, that goes back down to though at the very beginning of the show where we're talking about the people that are coming in. Even the Dunkables aren't necessarily chumps or they aren't nobodies. Like they are like, especially at this point in the game. At this point now, every season that comes in, they're all pretty good. Like they're all like nobody sucks. Like some may get dunked on, some may be underexperienced in the competition, but I mean, even the ones that have been underexperienced come out and show out, and you're like, oh damn, I didn't know this kid's name. Now you do. Welcome to the match of the PGF.
Yeah, so there's a lot going into it. There's a lot of analyzing now in the PGF, and then too, like that's one of the things is like
We got a stats guy now. There's a stat show.
there's a lot of stuff, and like even then though, like I think that like we talked about it a bunch, but going through it, there's a difference. And like for me, those matches in that week, I was just like, I didn't necessarily look to change much. It's like I'm gonna run it and let it be what it's
How I
gonna
run it.
be. Yeah,
Yeah.
and it is what it is. And then there were guys that were watching every match other people were having
And
and making choices based off of that.
adjusting. Yeah.
And I wasn't really doing that. I don't think.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think I was just
They
like,
were playing
I'm gonna beat everybody. That's what
they
I
were
was
playing it
thinking.
like baseball. They were playing it like, sitting there watching the
Yeah.
lineup and
And so
going,
that
oh, this guy,
again,
I
that's
know
is
this
like
guy
the
can't hit
thing has
long. Yeah.
changed. The things
Yeah.
have changed from when we were doing it,
Yeah.
sort of.
It's different.
And so that's what got me. Again, it was like, whoa, this is interesting in a way that jujitsu isn't interesting the same
Yeah.
anymore. Like jujitsu, the game, I'd kind of not that I was the best at it necessarily again, but like I kind of figured out a lot of good strategies for myself. And like some people are just better,
Right.
right? Some people are just better, and that's
At,
okay. I'm fine
at
with
the
that.
game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
or just at jujitsu, or just athletically and
Yeah.
physically and whatever. And it's
Yeah.
like that's okay too. But like I was pretty good, and I am pretty good. But like to beat me, you had to be pretty good.
Yeah.
And so I always like was like whatever when I got beat. I mean not happy about it, but I could hang my hat on like they must be pretty good. They must have done a lot because I did a lot. So that was the thing for me with that stuff. But it still sucks to lose in front of people or at all. I don't like lose anything. Like I don't like to lose at all ever anything nothing. And I can't. I mean I don't know if that's good or bad. I guess it's good, but if It is what it is. I don't know.
All
Hopefully-
things in moderation, right?
I'm going hard. No, I'm not. I
Okay.
no, I take that. I'm not. I don't believe in that anymore.
Okay.
I don't believe in moderation. It's all or nothing. You got to go hard in the paint, or you just got to get off the field. You know what I'm saying?
So in these holiday open mats,
There ain't no heroes at the holiday open mats, guys. Sign up for these qualifiers. The PGF is coming to a city near you in one way or the other. You can be the first athlete from your city to be on a professional grappling team. Follow me everywhere I'm at. Don't follow Isaac because he goes too many places, but you can see him at the Wandering Grappler. Bye.